right, all right. It is at night. Let's see if we are good on the three. We got one. We got two. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen here. Let's check to see if we're all clear. We got all three. Yes, we do. So I'm going to ask a question to no one. Doesn't look like anyone's here. That I already know the answer to. And that's, are we live? I said, are we live? Looks like we are. Vigilante Wednesday here on the 151st episode of VW Casual. And I have it in the title. There's a couple other stories we're going to talk about. Here just got the notice. All right, we just started. So, Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. What a crazy day. Or a couple days, I guess one of the stories. So there's this singer I never heard of who apparently had a body in his trunk in L.A., but he's been gone for a month, so that's a weird thing. And then there was a school shooting that happened around the same time at the Charlie Kirk thing, though I'm not timelines. You let off Brandon Hollum. Coincidence crew question mark. He was a pro coincidence crew guy. Unless he said something off the way anytime recently. I mean, he was very pro them. Didn't have any of this in a bingo card. I was annoyed by his ads and just seeing these ads of him yelling at teenagers. But the guy didn't deserve to die, right? But I mean, I can't help but to think set up just seeing that video. And I didn't see the traumatic. Apparently, people said this video of it's like you could see him bleed out. I'm like, oh God, I didn't see that. But I did see the conversation they was having right before they shot him. And I, apologize. I'm paraphrasing. But someone asked him about, how many trans murders or trans mass shooters or school shooters. I can't remember if it was mass shooters or school shooters. School shooters there's been, and then how many mass shootings there been. And he said, counting for gang violence, and then wow, knocked him, hit him right in his neck, and that was that. And so it's just like, wow, that's fucking crazy. I said a couple of things, and then apparently, what else? It was I guess the thing he was there for was about political violence, and he's talking about shooting right as he gets killed. So, and then there are people celebrating it, which is pretty fucked up to go without saying. Then there's people bring up little quotes that he said, and you say, man, there's power of life or death in the tongue. Apparently he had a quote. Y'all can tell me if it's right or wrong if this is quotes that he said, because I didn't watch Charlie Kirk, and I don't think maybe if y'all did, that's y'all business, but I didn't watch Charlie Kirk. I did spend the whole night laughing at Nick Fuentes shorts on Instagram, but like I don't really watch politics stuff anymore, and I don't keep up with it like I used to. But apparently he said something like he believes in the Second Amendment enough that if a few people have to die to protect the Second Amendment, so be it. And, you say a thing like that, and you never think your own life. But again, it's power, and not everybody believes in this power and death, life and death in the tongue. And I'm not saying somebody deserves to die when they say something like that. But that's a hell of a quote to have, and to go out that way. Something about empathy, which I can't remember now. Again, I wasn't, one of the guys. So then I don't know. There's another thing. Did they catch the guy? Looks like they had this one older guy with his pants down, which was weird. But he wasn't the guy allegedly. I don't know if they ever caught the guy that supposedly did it. Is he a patsy? If information's out about him, y'all probably know more than me. I wanted to ask Tom just like, I hope it wasn't you. Howdy, Tom. Just you obviously out in the Utah area. He says 45 minutes north of that shooting. Man, crazy work. I'm not going to watch that. Actually, I wouldn't rewatch that video. I happened to see, like I said, the video conversation. I didn't see like the gruesome video. He was a moderate as hell, anti-abortion, anti-castrating little boys. Sheesh. It's weird it happened in Utah, yeah. Chicago has more black mass shooters than white male shooters the last 40 years. That was called that, but I get the irony is he's worried about black mass shooters, and more than likely a white dude clapped him. You know what I mean? I don't know that stat. I'm taking your word for it. Knowing Chicago, it unfortunately probably is true. He didn't say it. He wouldn't talk about Epstein. He was just talking about, but he was talking about gun violence, and he gets shot right after at an event about political violence. Well, I mean, I saw the. You talking about self defense, not murder? Well, yeah, I know that, but it's just that's still a hell of a what the statement implies at a deeper level is that if a, but I mean, there's a hell of a statement to imply a life should be lost for a law, and you're okay with that, and then your life is the one that's lost. I know you might be right. In his context, he was talking about self-defense and not murder. I am not justifying it. I'm just pointing out the spooky elements more than anything, and the creepy elements of it. So they did catch a guy in all black, and he was on the roof. I see. Yeah, Tom Wade, and it's where Poland, Kirk, and the school shooting. They didn't catch the guy though. And what happened in Poland? I saw the school shooting. What happened in Poland? Yeah, I saw that they caught a guy, but they said it wasn't him. Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize. It's 9/11 because it's 9/10 the day it happened the next day. In most places now, it'll be 9/11 the next half an hour here in Houston. Man, creepy stuff, man. Are there clips of him talking about the Epstein situation? Said the Alphabet Mafia is working hard in Utah because BYU was there. I didn't watch enough of Charlie Kirk to know what he really talked about, but he didn't deserve to get killed, no matter what political thing. And I'm telling you, people who claim the feud there is okay to protect 2A isn't going about shooting. It's going about protecting oneself at home. I'm not saying it isn't, but there's still something ominous about saying that and then dying. Dancing coincidences, going back to the 9/11 situation. Sheesh. They caught one guy, but it wasn't the shooter, but they did get the shooter later. Okay. A Russian drone got shot down in Poland. Did not say that. Okay. People died driving irresponsible. I'm not attacking the Second Amendment. I'm pointing out the coincidences and the creepiness of making a statement like that. Even, whatever context it is, he got murdered by a gun while talking about gun violence at a political rally as a political thing. It's just all the creepy things that happen with it. That's all I'm pointing out, man. Whole thing makes your tinfoil hat go ping. Yeah, that's another reason I'm pointing out all this stuff. Okay, man. All right, I got the statement wrong. Like I said, I don't watch Charlie Kirk, so cool beans, man. I'm just saying it's a creepy thing to say something. To even say something about that, regardless of what the context of the statement is. I'm not saying the context is murder. I'm saying that the context is a loss of life in regard to a law, and to die that way. Even if you said the quote that somebody just said about cars, and you die in a car accident, it's still pretty weird. That's the point I'm making, Boosh. I don't know, I don't know where you're going, man. So I'm just saying that's just a thing. And I didn't watch media. I'm just going off of Instagram and comments. I'm going off of that. I'm sure y'all know more than me because, like I said, I was never a big Charlie Kirk guy. I got tired of his ads, and I just thought it was always weird to just go to a place, argue with teenagers, especially because Ben Shapiro and all those guys had already did it 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was. But, man, again, just, and I didn't realize how young he was. I thought he was my age or older. He's only 31. So that means during the pandemic, he was still in his 20s. Had no idea about that. So it's sad to see. I don't know enough, again, because it's not my bag to tell you whether it was deranged leftist guy or rather it was that's a patsy set up by the deep state slash elite slash lib. I couldn't tell you, man, but it's a messed up thing, man, and it's a crazy day. Like, I didn't know about the Poland thing. I did know about the school shooting. So that's messed up, even though I don't think anyone died in that school shooting. And then, like I said, I never heard of this David guy, but I guess it was yesterday, really, when that happened, where his car, somebody found the body in his car. Just a bunch of weird shit going on. Yeah, a young guy did have a kid and a wife. There were guys doing baseball signals behind him before it was shot. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a pro hit. I definitely lean towards this being a professional and whoever they got's a patsy. But, we'll see. We'll see what evidence comes out, how it goes. When he started talking to him, he was the same age. Now he's like 10 years old, I see. Could have been. You know what? I mean, they were asking him about trans. Here's another thing, man. Maybe the guy was talking to him and it's 100% coincidental, again, with those coincidences. But it almost seemed like the guy who was talking to him was part of the setup. I don't know. Because that's a hell of a subject to say. Literally nanoseconds before the guy gets shot. It's like, what the fuck? Bro, to arrest people for speech, man. If you ever look at the statistics of what's already going on in the UK, I mean, they arrest literally thousands and thousands of people each year for free speech. And some of the stuff, I bullshit you not when I say this statement. Some of the stuff that y'all throw in the chat will get you arrested in the United Kingdom. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm not saying that to be an indictment on y'all. That's an indictment on how crazy the United Kingdom is. You talk about free speech is. Long-range rifle accuracy. It's crazy these days. Digital scopes, bare minimum training. Yeah, they're getting some good time, man. They're getting multiple years and 14 months and 18 months for saying something online. And it's tame shit, man. It's not serious shit. It's not even the shit I was laughing at yesterday on Instagram. That shit's way beyond the pale. But I mean, it's some real tame shit getting people locked up over in Britain, man. The governor, Weasel Spencer Cox, called it I would call it assassination. I would call it assassination of some kind. You can't get your happy ass. Yeah, man, it's weird. It's weird shit out in the UK, man. Comedian was arrested for stuff he said years ago. Shh. Yeah, it's full 1984. It was a warning, not a manual. Golly. Yeah, I would consider it assassination. Didn't have that on my bingo card, man. That's crazy. And then, like somebody said coincidence. I thought he was pretty pro them. Thought he was pro. Yeah, you're right. James Gunn does get a pass. You would think he would go to jail for some of the stuff he said if they gonna be that tame. But maybe certain things. Apparently, they don't care too much about grape. I hate censoring myself to even say grape. Rape is the word. Fuck it. If I'm not gonna get things, I'm not gonna censor language. That's 1984. That takes off the emphasis of what the fuck was happening over there. They don't give a shit about those gangs over there raping women, but you can't make a damn joke. The odds of the shooters, they, them, not low, especially because that was what he was just asked about. That just make it seem like a setup, bro. That made it seem like a setup. YouTube censored your previous chat. I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad you're here, Fizz. Because they asked him about trans school shooters or spree shooters, whatever it was. And then right afterwards, whack. Crazy work. Crazy work. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, though. Oh, man, thanks, Boosh. Appreciate that. It means I got to actually do content. I wish I will be putting stuff out. Members. A lot of times I'll try to do members early. Or y'all got like The first stream of that sports stream where I fuck up for the first 5 minutes. You get it. Vigilante. Vigilante. It don't do no. I'm semi-monetized because I've seen commercials, they don't pay me for the commercials they play. And I can't remember when I got to the semi-monetized. There's one last step of monetization I can go. But I do have members, and I can't accept super chats. They do play commercials. I've seen commercials of my videos on, like if I'm watching from my phone. But they don't pay me for the commercials, at least not yet. Get a job member again. I appreciate that. I need to do more for you members. I haven't done a member stream in a while. Maybe I will. I mean, I know y'all have fun with it, so I should probably do it eventually. How much for the parlay? Shit, man. I think a lot of people would take those odds, man. A lot of people would take those odds. But the real odds is what are the odds this is the deep state? And what odds is it is this a deep state thing, or is it strictly a political killing? Is this to fan the flames of a civil war? I am in an apathetic state with politics, so I don't have my finger on the pulse on how that I'm sorry you keep getting censored by YouTube. YouTube can get really crazy censors. We got ad blockers, that's what's up. They can get real janky with the censor. So, man, it's a crazy situation. Rest in peace to the brother. He definitely didn't deserve to die. I didn't really watch his content. They were definitely trying to start one in 2020. China definitely has an interest in it. I know a lot of people know who Charlie Kirk is. It's a hell of a way to, get known. That's what Big said. You nobody till somebody kills you. Not saying he was nobody. I mean, I know y'all knew who he was. And he had a pretty big following. Helped launch Candace Owens' career. That's what I kind of think. Who's going to start if they have to do everything. Like, I don't think anybody's really willing to fight for the country. The reason I say that is because I haven't really seen it. Most of the big things have been federal created. It's been feds. I don't think people really want to, you talk about the Second Amendment, we're talking about that. Do people really want to express it? Do people really want to bear arms in that way to go against the tyranny of the United States government and all the parties that are entangled with the United States government? I don't know. I doubt it. That's true. If the next financial collapse is here, though, maybe. And I do believe the next financial collapse is, or the dollar falls apart. If things Weimar out, /Zimbabwe out, and, you go to Kroger, and it's bad enough the fucking gallon of milk is like $5, but now it's $500 or $5,000, and you get gas, and it's like $1 million a gallon, some shit like that, because the money is worthless that day. The proverbial wheelbarrows to buy pants type shit. Maybe then you do get enough civil unrest to get something going, and maybe that's what's next. And maybe this, along with a certain events, some people have even linked it back to the Trump thing from last year. Maybe these do push people over the edge. I'm with you, Richard, where it's like, man, in 2020, a lot of people were interested in politics. Post 2020, a lot of people stay interested in politics. But I don't think it's as hot button an issue as it was during COVID. Mainly because these things were being applied to our regular life at the time. It was a political issue to take a vaccine or to wear a mask. And then all these, gender and pronouns and all this, it was everything everywhere all at once. But that's kind of died down. You know what I mean? Even to still be complaining about woke is kind of seen as passe. Like, okay, we get it. Who's still complaining about this? Not that woke is necessarily successful, because We've seen, don't nobody's trying to see a lot of this bullshit. But we're past that. We're 5 years later. Going on 6. It'll be 6 in a few months. So, and that generation that was 20 to 24 then, they're not shit. That was Charlie Kirk was 31. So if you were 25 during the pandemic, you're 30 now. So that generation's already older. There's a new generation in their 20s. So I don't feel like there's enough interest from regular, everyday, normal people and normies to really have any stake in a civil war. And I'm saying there's not a lot of people on the left or the right who have a divisive feeling about the other side. Lord knows that's still there. But I mean, one, is a growing feeling of people who are just dissatisfied with government as a whole. And two, I just think so many people are just trying to get through their day because of how extreme everything is. They can kind of care less about some of the nuances of politics. You know what I mean? I can care less. So, but I'm just one guy with one perspective. I don't know that I'm right about anything. Finally got through. Okay. U.S.-backed Middle East country starting with I. Woof. Set fire to a civilian boat in Tunisia. Ruh-roh. They did make a Civil War movie about it. I forgot about that. Shit, I forgot all about that Civil War movie. You're right. They did make one, Brandon Holland. And when I talk Marvel Civil War, that was an actual Civil War movie. Financial collapse, not going to keep going, or not got to keep going, live my life. Yeah, I think a lot of people have that feeling, no matter what. 99% people do nothing until it knocks on their own front door, and only then will they ask why no one stopped it from happening. Yeah, a lot of people, most people outsource their thinking to other people, man. They outsource everything to other people. We outsource so much to everything. I mean, just a normal person, you outsource you didn't build your house, you built a home you lived in. You don't farm anything. You know what I mean? We don't really even take into account all the little things we outsource. That's society, right? People outsource the way they think to different people online. People outsource everything. So I don't think people really want to do the dirty work of being in a civil war. I don't think anyone wants that. I think a lot of people talk about that, especially if you do have a platform, whether you're on the right or the left. That's a good fear-mongering tactic. And some people fall for it for themselves. I'm not saying that, but Civil War was talked about, now that I remember it, even a little bit before 2020. I remember talking to a coworker about this in 2018, 2019. He'd think that was and that's when I was starting to lean a little bit more on the right. He was a left-leaning dude. But yeah. This is what I think about everything in life, Tom Jensen. Most folks just want to live their lives and be left alone. I think that's the absolute thing. I did read the chat. I said it. I don't know if you heard me. I said certain back, U.S.-backed country starting with I in the Middle East set fire to a civilian boat in Tunisia, and I said, "Oh Lord!" So I read it. Unless there was another chat you said you were trying to send outside of that one. No, the last one's damn censored again. So unless the other one got censored, I definitely read that one. Let's see. Yeah, I got too many responsibilities to care. Fizz, I'm reading this one, says he was 18 during the pandemic. So yeah, now you're what? So 5 years, 23, going up maybe 23, 24. Yeah, that's what it is. Most people just want to live their life, be left alone. So that's why I never thought the Civil War. Now that doesn't mean they won't use proxies and do shit. That doesn't mean they won't create civil unrest and violence. I mean, we just saw these fucking protests, and some people would still debate with me whether or not they were real. But I know whoever was debating with me, because I still get, people still post comments on old videos and shit. I know whoever's debating with me, they didn't go out and protest. So they talk about, oh, more protests than you. Did you go out there? No. Okay then. Okay. In the main civil war, the European colonies tried to lock us into debt, and Lincoln stopped this. Let's see. He didn't last long. That's true. Then they moved over to the U.S. before the two world wars. Let's see. Thankfully, no one died during that boating event. That's pretty good. Glad no one died. But still, a fucked up thing happened. Yeah, YouTube is strict. They probably got even stricter because I put Charlie Kirk's name in the title. It wouldn't shock me if I get a community strike just talking about it. Yeah. What's the percentage? 80, he said 85%. Some high percentage of men can't do 10 push-ups. How the hell you gonna do a civil war? You know what I'm saying? Racism could have saved what girl's life? I don't know what girl we're talking about. Thought we were talking about Charlie Kirk. But yeah, give you a break. Yeah, most motherfuckers can't get 10 push-ups now. So how the fuck you gonna do a civil war? That's another thing. Physically. Damn, they and YouTube not even letting you talk. I got even stricter with this happening. This is a pretty big story. Unless I missed a comment, y'all was talking to something else, talking about something else. In the Civil War, taking care of my own both sides. Yeah, the shit hits the fan. I don't think maybe there'll be a few militias and shit. How come I's not a terrorist country? Because they run this country, and this country, they run this country. They run this country's media, and this media broadcasts a lot of stuff. Now, just because we feel one way, globally, there's still a different view of America and Israel. So, I think a lot of people would consider that country. And now I gotta think of my words since they censoring everything. But would consider that country the word you said. How about that? I don't think it's even a quarter of a chance of it getting to that though. A girl who's more cold blood. That sounds like a messed up situation. You telling me is my knowledge, the extent of my knowledge on it. So unfortunate for whoever the young lady is and whatever the situation is. South Carolina. I mean, you got a link? I'm not trying to be funny. I don't. There's a reason I barely stream and I've been doing more stuff on sports. You know what I mean? I don't really like talking politics. I don't really care about it anymore. I know I started the channel on it, and hell, he was an exact influence. I was trying to be like the Charlie Kirks and the Black Conservative and all the different channels because that was I just saw a bunch of crazy shit during 2020, and let's not kid ourselves, it was a nice hustle, but nobody thought some shit like this would happen. Charlotte, North Carolina. What happened in Charlotte? So yeah, I'm gonna just Google. I used to live in Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte train. Must have been uptown because there ain't a bunch of trains in Charlotte. So, suspect in Charlotte train stabbing killed a Ukrainian refugees being charged with a federal crime. Here's what we know. I guess I can show y'all and we can learn together. Actually, let's get out of these fucking. Let's do the browser without fucking ads. Jesus Christ. Just want to know what the fuck happened. Goodness gracious. All right. Okay, don't want to sign in. All right. So, oh yeah, man, I've actually been on that train. It's only uptown, but I remember it's only uptown and shit. But I remember having to do I was trying to get a tech job, having to ride it at night to get back to my car and shit. Man, that's fucked up. Suspect, yeah, it was Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to Uptown, but Not like that. And the grisly slaying of a young woman on a Charlotte, North Carolina light rail train faces a federal charge in the case that's turned to a political lightning rod in the country she came to seek safety. Irina Zaruska fled Ukraine in 2022 with her mother, sister, and brother, and escaped the war with Russia, and she quickly embraced her new life in the U.S. Her obituary states, but 9 August 22, she texted her boyfriend saying she would be home soon. Man sitting behind her, damn, stabbed her. Whoa, that's fucking nuts. The Clara Rose Brown, a long rap sheet, now faces state first degree murder, federal charge of committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system, possibility of the death penalty. Wow. Death penalty. And then they make it a political thing. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know about the situation. That's unfortunate to see, especially in Charlotte, because I used to live there. Charlotte really wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wandered around high uptown, not thinking, thinking shit was sweet. So it's fucked up to see something actually happen out there. No, shit can happen. I mean, shit can happen everywhere. And that was, that was pre-pandemic when I used to do that shit. Oh, hell no. Reading his mind. What the fuck? Oh, so he was probably like on tons of drugs. And he looks like he was on tons of drugs. That's crazy. Where he's schizophrenic. Man, they go back to the asylums. Some people need to be in an asylums, man. Some people need to be in mental health institutions. Crazy. Yeah, spent 5 years behind bars. Dangerous weapon. Didn't seem like yourself. Crazy work. Tried to get him placed in a long-term facility. Her attempts failed because she wasn't his guardian. Wow. That's crazy that she tried to get him in a long-term facility. That's crazy. Charged with a 911, a misdemeanor. Investigate. Man, what in the world? Damn. Crazy story. Crazy story. That's sad, man. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. I didn't know about that. Damn, especially in Charlotte. That's fucking sad. Sad. Sorry I missed your comments. I missed a bunch. I'll try to catch up. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about the story. There's video. I'm not about to watch video. I'm about to watch somebody die. 5 people did nothing to help her. Jeez. Nuts. Nuts stuff, man. Nuts stuff. Yeah, I didn't hear about that story. Man. It's fucked up, though. Very fucked up. It's a fucked up day, man. I don't know what to say. I don't have no closing thoughts, no answers. It's a fucked up day, man. Very fucked up. And I don't know if the transitions. I mean, there's really, I talked about all the stories. I mean, I didn't really. I could read if you want me to read an article on the Charlie Kirk situation. Want me to read more on that? If there's more information on that, at least he's in custody. It looks like, or if you wanted me to talk more about, because the one thing I didn't do like any looking into was the school shooting in Colorado, or like the Poland thing. Y'all tell me that I didn't know that was happening, or that happened. Or the thing in Israel, I didn't know that happened. You know what I mean? Again, y'all know more about the world and politics than I ever will, because it's just not really my focus right now. I'm not saying it's not important to have some working knowledge of everything that's going on. It certainly is. It's just not my focus. It's not really there's nothing to say. I tend to stream because it's like fun. You know what I mean? And There's no fun to be dealt with a lot of death and depressing shit. And not that every stream I've done is fun, because I've talked about depressing subjects. We got about 3:30 p.m. 6 p.m. of Charlie Kirk on local news. He caught that white girl. I see. That's messed up. Yeah, you said you're about good on the Charlie Kirk thing. Yeah, I can see how, probably everyone's seen the story. Shit, this don't got to be the longest stream. Because, I mean, there's really not much to say. I don't have any more insight. And all I can do is rehash things. I could play Tekken, but I'm fucking tired. I kept that in the title just in case. But I'm fucking tired of shit from work. So rest in peace, man. It sucks about the Ukrainian girl. It sucks about Charlie Kirk. It sucks about the shooting. It sucks about the fire. It sucks about the thing in Poland. So, news sucks sometimes, man. So, rest in peace. Prayers to everyone's family who lost somebody. It's right around midnight. I'll get some time to sleep. I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream short. I did want to just talk about it since, what's going on. It's a big story. Sad story, man. Regardless of what the reasoning, whether it was a Fed or a liberal or a leftist or whatever the fuck, people shouldn't be dying over words, you know what I'm saying? But, some people, sometimes that's not, unfortunately, how people think. So it really sucks to see that happen, and that situation is really fucked up. But on that bombshell, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here early because, it's kind of a downer stream. So I don't really have the energy. Let's see me get whooped on by anime girls. It's just like, oh, man, that's really fucked up. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. I still got to do some sports content. Again, it's very hard to just, what do you talk about all this damn death? But, still, if you're looking for the Bud Crawford video, some people ask me about that. I will do a Bud Crawford / Canelo video. Still don't know who I'm going to pick. I'll find out randomly. Man, every time I pick against either, I'm wrong. So that's why I don't want to pick either. So sorry to everyone who's passed on. Prayers to everybody. I will talk to you guys later. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, and even if you do none of that, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to all you guys later. Peace. Oops. No. Not even ending the stream right. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.